Gun line. We got a fire mission coming down. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gun Line podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did in the past. So go on and pop a squat because it's about to get hot. You're on the gun line now. So check it, y'all. It's been a hot minute since I had some new blood on here. Well, not really. Ernie Mighty Scott was about 2 weeks ago. But anyways, we got a cat right here who happened to just get off a CQ when I was doing the live, and shit was chiming in. Somebody must have been asleep during CQ and to be up all that time. But with that said, man, I appreciate you taking your time fresh out of work to hang out with us for a bit. So welcome. Is it Stratton?
Yeah, Stratton.
All right, too easy. Stratton, tell us about yourself.
I don't really know where to start. So
Let's start off at the beginning. Let's start off with where are you from?
So I'm originally from a town called Conifer, Colorado. It's just a little bit west of Denver in the mountains.
Okay. Shit, west of Denver. That's in the mountains then.
Yeah.
The only west I've gone is Estes Park. Fucking nice out there. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous.
Hell yeah. And then I had a buddy that lived out in Leadville. I don't know where that's at, but it's in the mountains, I believe, too.
Oh, yeah. Leadville's awesome.
So let's see. You're from Colorado, so you're stationed near home. And how long have you been in?
I've been in since 2016. I actually started out at Fort Bragg.
Oh, shit. Okay. And what's your MOS?
So I'm a 13. It's a 13 Juliet now. I joined as a 13 Delta, though.
Fucking Deltas. Holy shit. All right. Hey, Frank Felice, if you're listening, you got another partner here. We got a fucking Juliet. Right on, man. How'd you end up picking that MOS?
So I went through a lot of shit when I was joining the Army. Weirdly enough, like the tipping point for me was my dog dying. Like,
no shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know what it was. I was like, my life sucks. I want to step up on life now. And so I just went down to the recruiter office and I was like, hey, I want to join now.
Now, did you have any? Okay, cool. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Did you have anybody in your family that was prior service?
Yeah, so my uncle he was active duty, and my sister joined the National Guard like a year before I did, actually.
Okay. So there's a little bit of military background there then.
Yeah, my grandpas, I had a grandpa in the Korean War. I had another grandpa in the Korean War, and I think that's about as far back as it goes.
So, but was the military something that you thought about? Let's go into, like, for example, your childhood growing up. How big is Conifer? I mean, is that a big town or small or just somewhere you want to get the fuck out of?
I mean, it's a good town. Like it was just trying to live in Colorado. So this is like 2013, 2014 that I was that I'd like just graduated high school, trying to live on my own. And that's also right when they legalized weed in Colorado. So everybody's moving here. The economy's skyrocketing and like it's hard to live. So like 18-year-old kid trying to live in Colorado by himself and like just not going well.
Yeah, that I can see. Dude, so I was actually in Fort Carson at that time. I was there from 2011 to 2015. And I was in a 277 FA right there. And anyways, so life was getting tough. Life was getting hard out there. How old were you when you joined?
I was 21 when I joined. I just turned 21. But yeah, I went down to the recruiter's office and they were like, oh, you're a mechanic. Let's make you a mechanic. And I was like, no, I'm not going to join the Army to do the same thing that I'm doing every day as a civilian and still be miserable. It doesn't sound more appealing to do in the Army. Like, it sounds just more miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I want to do cool shit that I'm not going to do in the civilian world. Like, I want to do things. If I'm going to join the Army, I want to do Army things, So I talked to him a whole bunch, and originally I wanted to join as like a 13 Fox, like the Forward Observer. I thought that sounded awesome. And then he was like, cool. Go home and think about it. And I was like, nope, screw that. Like, I want Airborne and I want to be a 13 Fox. And he was like, okay. And it was Tuesday. He was like, MEPS day is actually tomorrow. Okay. And we can try to do that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to like MEPS went to that hotel, and then they took me to MEPS the next day, and I was colorblind. I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea. And then they took me back to this back little office with my recruiter, and I have no idea who this other guy was. And they were like, "Hey man, you can't do 13 Fox. What else do you want to do?" And I was like, I don't know, what can I do if I can't do 13 Fox?
Right.
If being disqualified because I'm colorblind. I thought they were going to tell me I can't be airborne. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
But so it was like 13 Delta, and I couldn't even get cook. I couldn't even be a cook. It was something else. But I'm not even gonna do that. So I was like, whatever 13 Delta is, man, get me out of here. Like I want to start a new life,
Right.
They're like, okay, cool. These are your options. And I was like, the soonest one, I don't care. Let's leave. So it ended up being like 2 weeks out. So I had to pack up all my stuff. I drove all my stuff, or like what I didn't get rid of, to my dad's house in West Virginia. Dropped it off there, left from MEPS in Beckley, and then went to basic.
Okay, so wow, there's a big gap of shit there. Okay, so why is your pops in West Virginia and you're in Colorado? Obviously there's a split in the family. So did you live in West Virginia at all?
So my junior year of high school, my parents split. And then they're both from West Virginia. They moved to Colorado and raised me, my sister, my little brother.
Okay.
And they split my junior year, and then they both got a boyfriend and a girlfriend back home in West Virginia. And they've got their families in West Virginia. Right. So I'll just move to West Virginia. And then I spent my senior year there, hated it, moved back to Colorado as soon as I graduated.
God damn. That's crazy shit right there. All right. So you made it, and I'm just trying to, okay, obviously if you're colorblind, it's because of the maps. I'm thinking that, that they wouldn't, you couldn't read maps and colors and shit like that. It's the only thing that comes to mind. But I mean, you're in the Delta / Juliet. And if you're going airborne, you're more than likely doing charts and darts over AFATADs. So, so tell me, we'll get into that. Tell me about what were your preconceptions? Like, well, before I go there, why the Army? Why not the Corps or the Navy or Air Force?
Oh, man, dude. So all growing up, like my parents did not set me up for success at all. All growing up, my dad was just like, dude, I just thought you were going to join the Marines. Like, I wanted you to join the Marines. And like, as soon as I graduated high school, he had like 4 different Marine recruiters call me. And I was like, But I don't know what it was, or like why I was so put off by it for so long. But I'm kind of glad that I was, because like I had that time to do, like whatever fucking dumb bullshit that like kids want to do right when they get out of high school.
Right.
Have that freedom, and then learn like, hey, life sucks when you don't have like healthcare, dental, like when you're worrying about having a place to live, like all this stuff, and then joining the Army and having all that just given to you.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, you were able to get some of those wild oats out of the way and shit, rather than come in and be 18 years old, go marry yourself a fucking stripper and good shit. Dude, so you got into the Army. Obviously you went to Fort Sill, right? Or did you go like through Fort Jackson first and then a Fort Sill, or Benning?
I went to Relaxing Jackson first.
Oh, of course.
How was that?
How was basic training? Was it like what you expected it to be?
Yeah, actually, this is before like this new era of drill sergeants and stuff, but I'm sure that there was even an older era before I went in. This is like right when we came out with like the new OCPs. So like I got the new OCPs, and it was all right. And so I had females in my class, and that was still relatively new also.
Right.
And for my class, my company, and I was still also relatively new. But I mean, I don't really know. I think it was just as good as any other basic training experience.
Yeah. What was the shittiest time in basic?
Oh man. Shitting with doors open.
I would have gone with the gas chamber.
We had to burn our doors. So like we had the walls next to us, but there was a toilet right across from you. So you're just
Okay.
like sitting there shitting with nothing to look at, with these blinders of just another dude. Just taking
Dude.
this shit.
Oh God. So I'm guessing you guys never did fucking little circle jerks and shit while y'all were in basic.
Oh God, no.
Oh, see, dude, when I was in OSUT, yeah, this is one of those when I was in things. I was in basic training in 04. And I remember about 4 or 5 was like, dude, I need to rub one out. And everybody like, yeah, me too, me too. Somebody had picked up a motherfucking skanky magazine from the PX somehow or another. Ain't nobody asking questions. All I know is that the pages were ripped and passed down the toilet, you know, down the stalls. And then, brother, all you heard was just, you know, just whacking that motherfucking meat, baby. And oh yeah, you got to do what you got to do, boy. I mean, shit, busted a couple of nuts. Well, busted a nut, and then hey, went off to sleep. All right, you got fire watch. You know what I'm saying? It was good times, man. Good times. That's one of the best memories I have from basic. That and fucking nut to butt with a motherfucker as I was freezing. So you did your 9 weeks in what time of year was it?
So I joined in the spring right before, well, not the spring. I want to say it was like February. It was probably March.
How
March
hot
or
was
April.
it? How hot was out there in Jackson?
It wasn't quite hot yet, but like right at the end of basic was like when it was getting hot as shit, and it was hitting like 100 and some odd degrees.
And that humidity.
Yeah, humidity is awful.
Yeah, it is. So you did your 9 weeks of that little Boy Scout camp. Then you went to Fort Sill. And how was your AIT there?
It was garbage. I hated AIT so much. Well, it's like you get freedom, but you don't get freedom. And then not only that, but like when I was going through AIT for the deltas, it was just like, it was like 8 or 9 weeks of just AFATADs, you know? And then like at the very end, we did, it was like these 3 days where they showed you like the back of like a sick up kind of, and they had like the chart out and the AFATADs. I think they had a centaur there, but they just like showed it. They're like, this is a centaur. And then like set it back down. Like, and that's, you guys will learn that shit later.
Right.
But I didn't even get to be a part of that because I had to go to dental. And so like I just kind of got to see the shit and I was like, okay, cool. So I still don't know what I'm doing. All right.
Don't feel bad, bro. I think a lot of us went through that shit where when I went through again, it was called OSUT, One Station Unit Training. And there was no graduation between basic and AIT. It was like, all right, privates, you tomorrow you go across the tracks and you learn how to fucking shoot artillery. Bro, all it was the fucking chiefs having competitions with us. Who could set up the collimator fastest? Who can run the aiming poles better? I mean, I think for the deltas, it was probably who can put that antenna up, you know, what is it, OE254, whatever the fuck it is, you know, who can fucking put that up fast. Dude, it was just a bunch of, you'll learn when you get to your unit type deal, you know what I mean? And it's like, fuck, okay, I learned how to load, fire, clear. That's about it as a 13 Bravo. And back to your AFATAD stuff, I was just thinking about the last, I think, 2 weeks in basic, quote unquote basic, before I went to AIT, all we really worked on, bro, was the 50 cal and the Mark 19. I'm so sick of the fucking 50 cal and the Mark 19 because the first day it's like, hey, privates, we're going to be playing with the 50 cal and the Mark 19. So we're like all pumped up, like, yeah, we're going to fuck around, learn how to fucking, you know, put it up, take it apart, put it together, right? Dude, after 4 days of that shit, privates, guess what we're doing today? The 50 cal and the Mark 19. I mean, fuck that weapon system, dude. I don't know about that shit. Tell me about the howitzers, bro. So did you guys get passes while you were in AIT? You like to go out and shit like that?
No, we definitely did not have that at all. Because I was going through, they were having issues with people like sneaking off, going to like whatever, what's that strip club outside in Lawton?
I don't know about a strip club, bro. Allegedly.
There's something right outside Lawton.
Okay.
These kids prior to us were sneaking off and getting caught. Someone got caught in like the trunk of a car.
Wow.
Like the car was full already of like 2 of them were AIT, and that's how they got caught. And then they found the other guy in the trunk.
Dude, wow. Hey, for all the Alpha 277 FA cats back from 2005-ish, y'all remember when we had 2 soldiers in the back of a trunk coming in through Fort Hood and they got busted by the MPs? Who was that? Y'all know who it was. Y'all let me know. Dude, that's funny. I can't believe that shit still goes on nowadays. But the one thing I remember the most out there was scooters. And I think, it was scooters. Did you ever go to scooters while you were out there?
No.
Good. I mean, you could walk by there and catch chlamydia.
Yeah, no, we weren't allowed to leave posts. We weren't allowed to do like a whole lot.
Okay. So let's go ahead and fast forward because it sounds like an AFA Tads was boring as fuck. All right. So did you go to jump school then right after?
So no, I was a holdover for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I got to go to jump school.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. I knew a couple guys that I went to basic training with that were 13 Bravos that were like, I just missed out on their class. They were the class ahead of me by like 1 or 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because they were just about to go into jump week.
Okay.
When I got there. And as I was going through, like, I'll check in with them every day, like, hey man, how'd it go? Like, how was jumping out of a fucking airplane?
Right.
And to be honest, like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I was joining, because I hadn't actually thought about the process of like being airborne at all. I was just like, yeah, jumping out of an airplane sounds like a badass dude to be like, but I didn't actually think like, how am I going to learn to do that? And how is that going to operate? Like, I never thought any of that through. And then I was just like, I remember standing in like the formation and they're like, and then your 3rd week's going to be jump week and yada, yada. Like when they're explaining everything, I was like, I'm going to be jumping by myself for the first time out of a fucking airplane. Like, there's not going to be anybody there.
You got a reserve.
Yeah, exactly. I remember this lieutenant said exactly that. And I was like, so we're going to be by ourselves, sir? And he was like, yeah. He was like, you got a reserve, man. Like, you'll be all right. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking retarded.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome. I mean, so you got to find, what was that first jump like, man? Like, what was that experience like?
Absolutely fucking terrifying, but I didn't want to be that guy. Like, just getting into play. All that they fucking played the whole time we were in the pack shed was Band of Brothers. And then like the scene where like everybody's jumping out and getting caught in trees and like just fucking like all fucked up and shit. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's what we're about to go to.
Right. Wow. But I mean, hey, you airborne cats have that whole fucking legs. You're a fucking leg. Fucking leg. Oh my God. I don't know how many times I had to hear that. Lebinsky, if you're hearing me, fuck you. Proud to be a leg, motherfucker. There was this one dude that I was with named Lebinsky. He was an airborne cat, or is an airborne cat. I don't even know what the fuck he does anymore. That's awesome, man. I mean, like, what was it like that first jump and you feel the fucking shock from the goddamn chute opening?
I think I just closed my eyes until like, and it's not even really like a shock that you feel. You just kind of like notice that like you don't hear violent ass wind around you anymore. And then you just like look down and you're like, okay, cool. And then you look up and see your chutes open and you see your little sliders come down and you're like, okay, hell yeah. I'm probably going to live this. It doesn't get scary until you start reaching about the tree line and you realize how fucking fast you're going.
Oh, shit.
And then landing feels like if you just took like a box van or something and you just drove it like 10 or 15 miles an hour and just like jumped off of it. Like that's that's what I think it feels like anyways. It probably is not that bad at all, but
right.
I think actually the best jumps I had were in jump school.
Okay.
I remember it was like my 3rd jump. I just landed like a marshmallow, just like right like a better class. And then the very next jump, I landed in whatever that fucking creek is right there, and I just like got pulled through that little marsh. I was so mad.
Dude, it sounds like you had fun in jump school. I mean, so right on. Now, after you completed your 5 jumps, and so you stayed there in Bragg, or you went to Bragg?
So the jump school's in Benning,
right?
we didn't get our orders until the last week, like the last couple days, about like where everybody was going. I was like hoping to God I'd go to Italy for some reason, not knowing that there's not even in Italy.
Right.
But I got Bragg, and I was like, I'm going right back to like the Carolinas. Like, it's gonna be humid as shit. I was not pumped at first. And so we waited like right there after graduation, got on a bus, and they drove us all the way to Bragg.
How was that? The differences between, being in TRADOC and going to Forcecom, being in a real unit?
Terrifying. I was like, you walk the walk and you act the funk, but like you are actually like terrified inside. You like show up and you're like, yeah, we're fucking airborne now. We're cool as shit. And then you like show up and see like all the guys that are really airborne and like actually done shit, and like they're all crusty and got their like their berets all like with the airborne tilt, and you're like, oh fuck, these guys have what? Like these guys are it.
Right.
And then they come and pick you up and just drop you off, and like in front of our fucking like battalion, and we have no idea what just happened. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just drop you off, and we're like, okay, so what do we do now? And then we like so we like walk in and tell them what's going on, and they're just like, okay, cool, we'll let some NCOs know and they'll come get you. So I remember this specifically, and I did this to the rest of the privates that we got too, the entire rest of the time I was there, because I will never forget this. And but they so like our battalion and our barracks and our BOF were like right next to each other. They were like, I want to say they're like 4 or 5 blocks away. Okay. It was like hot shit. It was like August when I got there, or late August, so it was hot. But I had these NCOs, like it was like 3 or 4 of us that showed up, and they're like, all right, grab all your bags and follow me. And we're like, okay. So we're like carrying all of our bags and shit, and one dude even had a car, and they're like, nope, you're gonna carry your fucking bags over there, and then you can come back and get your car. We're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? We're like, why the fuck can't like we're like doing a bag drag like all the way over there, not allowed to like let our like duffel bags touch the ground, and like just sucking ass all the way to the barracks. And then we get to the barracks and we're allowed to drop our stuff, and they're like, all right, now you guys are gonna go meet your smokes. Went to our smokes, and like thank God me and my roommate, when we first showed up to in processing, were like squared away. We like took initiative, went and got our berets done. We found out what units we're going to, so we got our flashes, we got our wings, so we got our uniform kind of squared away. But these other 2 guys that I was with, 3 guys that I was with, didn't do that yet at all. They had like PCs. One dude was wearing his beret without a fucking flash or crest, and like that's a huge no-go. And then one dude was just wearing like his he didn't have the wings, and he had the airborne patch or the 82nd patch on. And so I remember that like our smoke just came in, like stared at us for like an uncomfortable amount of time, and then just started laying into everybody. And he was like, where's your fucking beret? Where's your fucking beret? Oh, we're just not fucking airborne. Like, and he just like ripped this dude's 82nd, like just went down the line, just like ripping their 82nd patches off. And like, he was like, you got 30 seconds to find some shit. And we're like, what the fuck? And I was just standing like quietly, and he was like, just because I'm not fucking with you doesn't mean you're not a piece of shit too. And like,
hell yeah,
fucking help your battle buddies. And I was like, okay.
See, that would have been the reason that he should have dug into your ass. How are you 2 motherfuckers looking squared away, but you're letting these 2 motherfuckers look like shit? Dude.
So we had to like run around and like ask these dudes we never even met or heard of, and they're obviously like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't care about you, like, get away.
Right.
Like asking like, hey, we need to find like airborne wings and a flash and crest, and they're like, the PX, and we're like,
go to clothing themselves, baby.
No, you don't know what to say to that. You're just like, we're fucked anyways. Like this.
Oh fuck. Who was your first smoke?
Oh, it was I can see him and I can't think of his name. But he was in our smoke for very long. We only had him for like 3 weeks after that. And then we got Smoke Bruner, and he was a badass smoke.
Yes, sir. See, I mean, artillery is a very small world. I don't know if you've realized that yet, but I mean, no matter where you go, somebody knows somebody that knew you. You know what I mean? So, like, what unit are you in right now?
I'm in 329.
329. Where's that at? Is that in Carson?
Yeah, of course, at Carson.
329. I don't even know who that is. Because when I was there, we had 277. We had 44 Deuce, I think, was there. 316, maybe. I don't even know who the fuck is there now. Shit. Is 277 still there?
Yeah, I think I know it's 212 and 277.
212. That's who I think was they were reflagged to that one unit. Okay. You guys, what are you guys shooting? Paladin or fucking 777s or 119er?
Paladins.
Gay.
Oh yeah.
Gay.
Fucking
Sorry.
Hoot and a half. I hate it so much.
Especially you came from light then, right? I mean, when you were in 82nd, what were y'all shooting there? 777s or 119ers?
119ers. I was in 119ers, so we had Alpha and Bravo shooting 119ers, and then Charlie was always 777.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It fucking sucked though, because like when deployments came down, Charlie Battery was always the one that went to the combat deployment, and then we always got sent to like fucking Kosovo. Like,
oh shit. So hold on. So what unit were you in Bragg?
3319.
Did I know anybody there? I don't think Schnabel's there. Who's there? I don't know. Anybody that I know, if y'all know this cat, let me know. I got to check your Facebook. I'm pretty sure we're friends. We got linked up friends somewhere. Right on. Probably. So let me see. So you're at your unit. Now, did you come in a E1, E2, E3?
Oh, I came in E1 like just fuzzy.
Oh, okay. So you were basically the bitch of it all. So you get to your section. How did your section treat you when you got there? Well, it says PC, so.
It wasn't the first night. The second night or the second day, I actually got to meet my section. Right. My chief was the oldest, crustiest man I've ever met in my whole life. Like, he was never, ever at work. He only showed up for live fires, like weapon squalls. I've never actually, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
I never actually like seen him at work more than like for like an hour or so, maybe at a time, or like 30 minutes. But he was there that one day just to like receive me, like give me my counseling.
I was about to say, yeah.
And introduce me to the section. And I had at the time it was Specialist Kleinhans, who was like our little section leader.
Okay.
And Specialist Thompson and Specialist Abosta. And that was my whole section.
Damn.
Yeah. Small sections, and they're hurting bad for paratroopers and artillery at Bragg. But
first field problem, how did that go?
Man, it was all right actually. I hated it, but like, you know, you just get I was a private that got thrown on chart, and like I showed up. And I was just like in the back of like, at first they had us set up in like a trailer. And so I was just in the back of the trailer with like this red light by myself. And they were just like, we're not going to use you. Like, just hang out back there. And like, that's just how that chief ran. But you said, I forgot where I was going with that, the section. Like, the introduction to my section was like my specialist, like kicking in my barracks room door and like taping me to a chair and like asking me FDC shit. And when I got it wrong, I had to drink like this nasty ass bottle of whiskey. Like,
fuck yeah.
I remember my fucking roommate having to untape me. And he's just like, help me get in my bed, and like miserable as fuck the next day.
Dude.
But that was that experience.
Yo, told you artillery is a small world. We know two people. One of them was a private. We were together. Knocking. Timothy Knocking.
I don't know if I know.
It's on your list.
Oh shit! No, I guarantee you haven't. I can't think of who that is. Right,
unless this is not you, but I don't see Dustin Stratton, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then you happen to know my old battery commander, Ingleby.
No kidding.
Yeah, Captain Ingleby. Well, he's a major now. Unless it's a different Dustin Stratton. That's the only thing.
Does it say my whole name with the 2 middle names in there?
No.
Oh, that's me. I'm Dustin Tyler Chase Stratton.
Holy Jesus Christ! So it's not you then?
Yeah.
Okay, how many Dustin Strattons are in the field artillery then? Holy shit!
Yeah, no, there's just one. There's one dude that I keep asking. Like everybody's like, "Are you this dude's brother?" And I'm like, "No. Why would my parents name us both Dustin Stratton?"
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna find
apparently
it.
there is, because everybody asks me if I know this guy. I'm like, I have no fucking idea who that is.
No shit. That is okay. So you're Dustin who what?
Tyler Chase Stratton.
Fuck, you can't get any fucking whiter than that. Jesus Christ.
It's pretty fucking white.
Bro, what the fuck? Definitely from West Virginia. So, dude, tell me, so far you've been in now how many years?
God, it's 2021. I guess I've been 5 years, almost 6. I'm coming up on 6 years soon.
Okay. E5, E6.
I'm picking up E5 October 1st. Finally, dear God, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, the point system got fucked up, huh?
Oh yeah, and then COVID, and then when I PCS, it was just a giant shit show. I had to get my P status twice.
And
Damn.
Wait. Oh, you know what? The Army done changed. So I don't know. It's done changed, bro. That's crazy, man. I mean, what? Now, when you left, did you deploy with the 82nd or no?
What was that?
Did you deploy with the 82nd? Did you guys deploy?
Yeah, just to Kosovo. Like it was.
So it was a rotation versus going like to Afghanistan or Iraq.
Yeah. It was like a peacekeeping rotation. We deployed, and it was actually pretty cool. We worked with it was like a NATO operation.
Okay.
So like the Danish were there, the Brits were there sometimes. A bunch of other people were there, and everybody just like tried to trade flags around, and we're the only ones that weren't allowed to keep alcohol, so we kind of had to make friends with especially the Polish. The Polish were super cool until one night we almost got in a fight with them.
What the fuck? All right, you got to tell that story now. What happened with the Polak?
Oh shit. So one night, so we had these GO1 events where we were allowed to drink, right? So our commander would go into town, he'd bring back like a keg, and we'd all buy like $5 beers or whatever, $1 beers. I forgot how much they were.
Right.
But we're getting hammered. The Polish, I don't even want to call them barracks, but they're like these fucking shipping containers that we all lived in.
Like chews.
Yeah. It was kind of like an L shape, and right where they met, we had like this, it was like a shed, but it had like a TV in there and a pool table. And then out back, we had like a makeshift volleyball court and like a fire pit.
Nice.
And we're all drinking with the Polish, and they had some sort of concoction. I don't even know what it was, but it tasted like cherries, and it was pretty dope. And we were just sitting around, and then one of them drops it with a hard R, and then like immediately like 4 dudes stand up and just like start trying to like bum rush these guys, and then everybody's standing up, and we're like, "Fuck, this is not good." So we're all trying to stop everybody else. And then like, so
fuck
that happened, and we're like, no, we want to be cool with them. We want to be cool with like, you know.
Yeah, but god damn,
like these motherfuckers, like, it was bad, like, because we even had like our commander trying to fight him too. That was some crazy shit, and a chief warrant officer. I forgot about him too.
Damn, a warrant officer. I didn't even see them.
Going. Oh yeah, it was nuts. Everybody was fucking ready to go.
Dude, fucking Polak. See, Kowalczyk? See, your fucking people are half fucking retarded. God damn. My boy Kowalczyk, he's a fucking Polak. So he tries telling me.
The same night we tried to steal the British flag too.
Do tell.
Yeah. So we just got hammered, and we were like, because I remember we were walking back. There's like a gym that we had. We were walking back one day, and what the fuck is that? What was that trend that was going on for a long time? I was like, I remember I was just walking, and I was like, we should take one of these other nations like unit flags or something. I was like, we need to do
fuck.
And they're like, what the fuck was that shit? It was like a trend, like
I don't know, brother.
I can't remember what it was, but they were just like, you won't do it. Like you won't. It was like you won't do it, but like now you have to do it.
What the? I don't know, man.
So they were like, you got to do it now, and I was like, oh, like all right, bet. And then that night we all got hammered, and then I remember they just like it was Alan and my chief at the time. What was his name? I want to say it was Cook. Yeah, it was Sergeant Cook. Like looked at me and they're like, yo, it's the perfect time. And I was like, what? And they're like, we got to go take one of those flags and you're going to do it. And I was like, okay, but I need some help because it's like right in the middle of an assembly area.
Holy
so
shit.
just like ran out there, like super suspiciously not being like discreet at all and just start like pulling this flag down off of like their, there's like a railing that they had. And this dude comes out and he's like doing like laundry or some shit and just like looks over and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't really have a good excuse for whatever this is. And I just kind of like stopped and hoping that he'd just be like, all right, fuck it. And just like keep walking. But he just started walking towards me. I was like, all right, my time to dip. And I just took
Damn.
back to the campfire.
Dude, I told you we knew somebody, we would know somebody. The person that you know, he was my soldier. He was my number one man in Fort fucking Stewart, Georgia. This motherfucker, I took him to the very first Soldier of the Month board, robotic as fuck when he was doing it. But he ended up winning Soldier of the Month. And then we deployed to Mosul together in 2009, 2010. You may know him as Kerr, William Kerr.
Oh my goodness.
That was my motherfucking Joe, man. That motherfucker P90X'd out like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
One of the best number one mans I ever had in my fucking life, bro. Big Kerr, what's up? Shout out, baby. I had faith in that dude since I met him, since I knew him. I knew he was gonna be a high-speed motherfucker, man. And then when I saw that he went drill, dude, how do you know Kerr?
I want to say that he was this. I don't know if he was a chief or a smoke for our other platoon. But we always just bullshit all the time. Like we'd always just like catch each other like not doing something probably, and like we just end up bullshitting a lot. And he was like one of the coolest dudes ever to talk to.
Oh yeah, that mother could talk all day.
Yeah,
he would tell me, Chief, you want to see real mountains? I'll take you to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and I'll show you real mountains. Was he from Pennsylvania or West Virginia? He was up somewhere in the Northeast. I remember that. So, right on, man. I told you, it's a small world, bro. Small fucking world. But, dude, that's fucking awesome. So, you did your time in Bragg. You had fun out there in Kosovo. How the hell did you end up in Colorado?
I remember coming back from that Kosovo deployment, and then it was like our recruiter was just like, it wasn't even like my battery retention NCO. It was like our battalion retention. And we were in battalion someday, fucking with battalion FDC doing some shit with the AFATADs. And they were just like, he just caught like 3 of us. And then he was like, what would it take to keep you in the Army right now? Like, if you could have anything, what would it take to keep you in? And we're just like, fucking $1 million, man. Like, I don't know. And they're like, he's like, okay, like duty station. Like, if you could go anywhere in the Army, what would you re-enlist for? And I was like, I don't know, man. I kind of like want to go home and like chill. Like, it'd be nice to take a break from like, you know, always being like, just always doing shit constantly. Like light, that like airborne light stuff. Like you're constantly like going, like high intensity all the time.
Right.
I was like, I guess I'd like to like take a break from this and like go home, I guess. And he was like, all right, I'll put you in. And then he just like took us all down. He was like, all right, well, like, I'll see about like, I'll bring you guys in the office. And I remember we just got done doing our table 5 and he called me and he was like, hey man, so I put in that hotline for you to Carson and you got it. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't fucking remember this shit. It was just like 2 weeks later.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you? He was like, remember we talked a couple weeks ago? I was like, this motherfucker actually just did that. I was like, I thought you were just like bullshitting with us, but like,
wow.
All right. And he's like, I need to know now if you want to do it. And I was like, can it wait until tomorrow? Because I'm doing table 5 right now. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Come in tomorrow. We'll talk about it. And I was like, okay. So I ended up re-enlisting the next day. Like, I didn't even know I was going to re-enlist. It was just like, just the same way that I joined the Army. The best decisions I've ever made in life are like last minute decisions. I don't know why. It shouldn't be that way, but it is.
Hey, dude, it's working out to your favor so far. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, but that what's crazy about it is like, how far were you out from your contract before? How open was your window? Like, how close were you to ETSing?
I want to say I was like 6 or 7 months away.
Oh shit! So yeah, they were trying to get your ass in there quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up in Carson because, see, funny story. I started mechanized in my career, so I started on that fucking piece of shit Paladin. I love the piece. Don't get it twisted. I love it when it doesn't fucking break down. It's a great piece, you know. However, I thought I was king shit new artillery until I went to Fort Carson because I'd never been light. And when I got there and I saw that pea shooter, that's when artillery became artillery to me. See, you did it backwards. You started with real artillery, and now you're at the lazy man's artillery. I mean, we're going to discuss that now. I mean, how is that different? You know, the mentality coming from Fort Bragg, where it's high intensity, high speed shit all the time because it's light fighter world. You know, and then of course airborne. Ooh, we jump out of planes, fucking legs. Oh, you dirty legs. Fuck yeah. Anyways, then you come over here to fucking, you know, mechanized, and you notice people are a little heavier and a little lazier, I would say. You know, and I don't want to get you in trouble, but I mean, what was the difference in mentalities that you saw from the Army in Bragg to the Army in mechanized? I don't want to say all of Carson, because Carson does have some high-speed fucking units, you know, but to the mechanized mentality, what did you see the difference there?
I'm not going to lie. It was actually like a whole culture shock for me, because I came from a unit where we didn't have females. Everybody was like high-speed, fucking go all in, drink the Kool-Aid, die or nothing, like, you know, and then coming to this unit where we had females, the EO and sharp stuff was like taken extremely seriously. There was no bullying, hazing, harassing. Like, there was no going to the wood line. There's no like calling each other pieces of shit or fucking faggots or, you know, whatever else. You know, there's none of that. Yeah. So very straight edge. It was like a huge culture shock for me. And I felt like I had to like not say anything for like the longest time to like make sure that I don't get in trouble.
Right.
And then not only that, but like I came to this unit and then like just talking to like a lot of like, even like the NCOs, I was like, you don't know what? Like, you don't know like voice commands. Like, oh, shit. Like I'm not even a chief and I know my voice commands.
Right.
And it was just like, it was nuts, like going through and seeing how they did all this stuff. And I was like, why do you guys do things like this? Like, all of this is like so messy and backwards and unorganized, and like none of your shit even works. Like, no wonder. Like, and so a lot of the dudes hated me because I was like, charts and darts. Like, why don't you guys do charts and darts? Like, it's like super, it sounds lame and super outdated and real dumb. And the shit was invented in like fucking World War II, and the most up-to-date version that we have of it is the RDPs and the grids that we have now are from like 1973, hasn't been updated since.
Oh shit.
And like if for my Deltas or Juliets or whoever, if you see an RDP in the bottom left-hand corner, if it doesn't have a US stamp, it's actually pre-1973, which is old as shit. I found one. It's super fucking nerd shit, but I think it's the coolest thing ever. Like,
you know what? Frank Felice, he will love that shit. Frank Felice is like my super trooper fucking 13 Delta. He was out of Italy, 173rd, hardcore, hard charger. Like, to me, he's an honorary 13 Bravo is how much of a hard charger he is. So, but yeah, dude, that's fucking badass. And I agree with you. Like, you know, I don't know the Delta side or the Juliet side of it, but artillery is fucking artillery. And when you see something wrong, it's fucking wrong.
Exactly.
The shit talking that is common fucking, that's just standard fucking data. Shit talking, calling the motherfucker a faggot, calling her racial terms on the gun line are just like commas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, I'm glad that there's still some old school mentalities that know it's not all serious. You know, it's how our cohesion is built.
Exactly. But when you start today at work, actually, we had an EO class, and we're like, afterwards, we had to kind of have this conversation where it's like, you know, it's kind of hard because like that's how some of these sections run. Like they run off of that. Like some of these guys feed off of that type of shit. Like, and that's just how they are. That's like their chemistry. That's how they work together. You know.
Yep.
And if you take that away, then it like kind of kills it.
Well, yeah, you're killing the whole fucking vibe, the whole fucking mood, and it's become a fucking. And I talked to Urena about this a lot. He's my co-host on the Midweek Memo. I talked to Urena about this a lot because the Army's gone to what I see more of a corporate fucking corporate environment versus training to kill, which is what we're supposed to fucking do. So, I mean, so in the Bragg world, I'm sure there's females there in the artillery world now, but I mean, when you were there weren't. They started trickling in afterwards.
So when I first got there, it was like 2nd Brigade was like their experimental unit. If you were a female airborne and showed up, you went to 2nd Brigade, and like that was unheard of to everybody else. And so like, you know, all the whisperings start happening like, yo man, like 2nd Brigade is burning to the ground right now. Like, and it was like there's some crazy shit going on because like the airborne community there, I think, had like a hard time
welcoming them in.
Yeah, like you know, just like, you know, dudes seeing chicks, and then you start getting all the sharp cases, the EO cases, all that stuff, and then like you start getting like all these section chiefs and like NCOs, other soldiers, smokes pulled into this stuff.
Yeah.
And you start losing like a lot of really good dudes that deserve to be in their position, but now they're fucking it up, doing some other bullshit because like, you know, this stuff's new and it's not really like been figured out really.
Right. And you know, that's what sucks is like I get it. It was inevitable to come. You know, it was gonna be inevitable. And but also the people that were coming into this life, into the field artillery life, they I think should have had an idea of the mentality that the grunt or the fucking the artilleryman has. You know, we're a special breed. All right. Mm-hmm. We're a very special breed because we're the jack of all trades and master of none. You know, so we get tasked out to do when we're in combat, it could be fucking go kick down doors and then come back and go shoot rounds down range. So, you know, we have a very sick sense of humor. You know, and when you put women in the mix of it, it's kind of hard to tell somebody like, dude, this weekend I was knee deep in some fucking pussy, dog. That shit was bomb as fuck. You know,
exactly the type of shit.
And then you're gonna have a female. Yeah, and then a female, if she gets offended, you know, she's gonna be like, why are you talking about pussy? You know, well, I had a dick up in me. All right, cool. Tell me about this dick in you. You know what I mean? I want to hear more about this man fucking, you know, this big mandingo up in you. That's the way I would have took it. But I mean, of course, those are few and far between females that are like that. And I think that, I don't know, I wasn't there when they implemented all this shit. Thank God. Nothing against y'all ladies. Handle y'all business. Y'all do y'all thing, man. I just think they would have been difficult for me. And I see a lot of things happening. Like, are there broads that can do this shit? Obviously, there is. There is. I know there's Joes
right now on the gun line. This Amazonian woman, she's huge and she's cool as fuck, and she can fucking sling some rounds, man.
Hell
like,
yeah.
She's a good chief.
As long as, see, my biggest issue that I had with it was I was hearing that they were going to start bringing NCOs from other MMOSs and reclass them to become NCOs and be section chiefs. I had a problem with that. Because, bitch, unless you've been advanced party, you don't really know what that private goes through. You know what I mean? You climb the ranks. You start off as fucking advanced party, being a fucking powder bitch, humping rounds, and then RTO, ATC, gunner, chief, gunny, smoke. Yeah. You know, there's a progression. You know,
exactly.
so
that that was a big problem I had coming here too. Was like they had all these dudes in all these positions. Like they had like box operators that didn't know RTO. They had box operators that didn't know Centaur shit. They had box operators and nobody knew charts. And I was like, come on, like your box operator is supposed to be an NCO position. He should be able to train every single one of these soldiers.
Yes.
Like, why the hell doesn't anybody know their job? Like, this is like basic shit. Like, it is literally like our Bible is built around manual gunnery.
Thank you.
Like, and you're telling me nobody has ever fucking opened this bitch. Like, when I was a soldier, I carried that bitch everywhere with me. You can ask anybody that was in my section. I always had it on me, and I loved it. And that's what got me so good at my job was learning doctrine. Because there's no gray lines. It's just straight like, this is exactly what doctrine says, so I'm going to do that.
Right.
And like all this shit was backwards, or my Tango Oscar's all fucked up, and like I'd be like, no, that's not what it fucking is, and I don't care what anything says because we don't have an SOP saying that. And if it does say that, it's wrong, and it shouldn't say that because you can only add to, you can't take away.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh God, I haven't heard that in a hot minute. You could add to, but you can't take away. Holy fuck.
So it's like everything there was just completely ate up. I even did find it in their SOP too, where my Tango Oscar was all fucked up, and I was like, this is some jack shit. And then we did get a new Mike Golf for the Juliets, and him and I really click because like I'll have conversations with him, and he started implementing charts and all this shit.
Yeah.
And like everybody in the battalion's been coming to me to learn charts. And I don't mind it at all. Like if you come to me, anybody, I don't give a shit what battery section, unit you're in, I will teach you. If you want to learn, I will teach you. And my chief hates it because he's like, come on, man, you're giving away all of our secrets. Like, this is how we're going to win best of. And I'm like, okay, what happens when, so I'm taking over chief here after we come back from NTC, or after this NTC rotation in November.
Right on.
Like, what happens if I take over for another section? They're all just gonna be ate the fuck up. I have to do the same thing over again.
Exactly.
Not only that, but like the only thing that's gonna make these soldiers want to be better is if they have somebody to compete with.
Exactly.
You know, if you already know you're better than everybody else, why the fuck are you gonna try to get better? Because you already know you're the shit. You think you're the shit anyways.
You're talking too much sense. You're making too much sense for the Army, bro. You're making too much sense.
So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna teach everybody. I don't care. Like, and so I've been telling my Mike Golf like everything that's fucked here that I noticed. Like, hey man, Mike taking the Oscars. Nobody knows charts. Nobody knows how to like do like basic soldier tasks. We never do AP, like all this shit. And he's like, holy fuck. And so he like redid all of our fucking Table 1 Charlie stuff, and it rocked this battalion's life. But it was probably the best thing that's happened to it in a long time. That's probably the most shit these soldiers have learned in a long time.
And that's good. They need that shit.
Yes, I'm pumped about it.
Dude, it's one thing, like, you know, there was a lot of excuses during the GWAT that, you know, I didn't get to do my job. That's why I don't know my job. I was one of those. Not gonna bullshit you. When I went to Fort Hood first, and that's when I was a 277 FA out of Fort Hood and 4th ID. And I got there in 05. We deployed in December of 05, got back December of 06. And we didn't shoot artillery. Well, at least the platoon I was in, we didn't shoot artillery. Just straight convoy bullshit all year. Then we got back, I re-upped and went to Korea. Korea's mechanized as well, so I felt right at home. The thing is, I remember this incident very well. I was an E4, and you know, I thought I was a shit because I got a combat patch. A lot of motherfuckers in Korea didn't, you know. So I got there, and there was NCOs without combat patches. You know, they were motherfuckers that they had what they call the AIP, and we called it the Avoid Iraq program. You know, because they stayed out there avoiding Iraq. There was a sergeant major out there, bro. I don't know how many years he'd been there, but he never deployed. How are you gonna be a fucking sergeant major without a fucking combat patch? Anyway, but I got there, and the incident that I tell everyone is this: I was an E4, and I wanted to be the gunner because the gunner that I was getting, the gun that I went into, the gunner was leaving, so I was the next one to fill the slot because of rank. Yeah, but my chief at the time, he was not about rank. He don't give a fuck about rank. It's about, can you do the fucking job?
Exactly how I run my section. Yeah.
Yep. Fuck rank. Do you know how to do the job? Okay, you don't. Guess what? You're gonna stand to the left of that PFC. I don't care if you're a specialist, but fucking so Sergeant Aguayo, shout out Chief. Sergeant Aguayo was like, hey, PFC Fost, come here real quick. Oh no, Dost. PFC Dost, come here real quick. show Specialist Lopez how to initialize the gun. Because he asked me to initialize the gun. I told him I didn't know how to do it because I was deployed. He's like, okay, I'll take care of it. He got a PFC to come show me as a specialist how to do it. It was a very humbling experience. Never had I ever been, humiliated, but humbled, So I'm no fault of DOS. DOS taught me how to do it. But from there, I dug into that -10, reading all about that shit. How do I do it? On the weekends, I'd be there learning my shit because I'll be goddamned if I'm going to be a fucking specialist and not be a gunner. You know what I mean? And so I learned my fucking job. And like you were saying, bro, one of the biggest things you want to do is teach. You want to teach. As a fucking NCO, your job is to fucking teach, coach, and mentor. I don't know how fucking redundant that shit gets, but that's one of the jobs that I love the most was, teaching my Joes, especially the ones that couldn't get right, man. Like you would try to teach them, but then you explain it so Barney style that they it clicks and their eyes brighten up, bro. Loved it. So I'm all about teaching everyone from the E1 to the to my rank. I will teach you what I know. You know what I mean? And that's awesome that you're doing that, bro. So you're gonna get you're finally gonna get a section here then. After your rotation to NTC, have you been to NTC before?
Yeah, this is gonna be my 4th time.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I've only been in this unit for like 2 years, man, and I've gone twice a year.
God damn!
And we're not only that, so we're about to go to NTC. We're gonna come back right the day before Thanksgiving. Or no, the day of Thanksgiving we're getting back, and then in April we're going again.
God damn!
It is some miserable shit because Alpha battery, that's the battery that I showed up to when I first got to Carson. Yeah. There was an Op4 battery. And then, so I went for Op4. And then a couple months later, we went to NTC for like regular NTC rotation. And then I got moved to Bravo battery. And then same thing, Op4 and then regular NTC. And then same thing's happening again. Op4 and then regular NTC. And it's just all this COVID stuff that's going on.
Don't mind my boy, man. He comes here all the time. Hey, quick question. When you were, how long have you been in that battery now? In that unit 329, how long you been there?
I want to say it's 2 years. It's almost 3 years now. I got here in 2019. It was the very end of 2019 is when I got here. I'm
trying to figure out because I don't know if my homeboy Nygaard, if he was in that unit or if he was in the other 112 unit. Just I'm trying to think of like all the people that I know that would be out there. What are you doing, Pop? What are you doing?
Trying to read that.
Don't hide. Go. I'm doing my podcast. Go away, Pop. But yeah, dude. That's what's up, bro. Have you been to JRTC? You had to have gone to JRTC.
Yeah. JRTC is a much more miserable experience than NTC. I'm going to say it right now.
Really?
Oh, it's so much more. Oh God. It's so like humid and miserable.
Right on that.
So I will never forget this experience. So we're supposed to jump into JRTC, right?
Right.
The first jump we went to pre-jump, and it was like a hurricane out. It was just storming, like rain pouring, and the pads that we jump off of into like what's supposed to be a gravel pit or dirt, is filled up with water. It was like a pond, and I was like, we're really gonna do this. Like they're like, all right, everybody line up for like pre-jump, and I was like, we're really about to jump in this fucking water. I was like, we're really about to land in all this like this lake, and I was like, lower enlisted got pushed up to the front of the line. I was like, this is gonna suck. and like I watched the first guys go through, just like super fake motivation, like that, and like just like splashing water on each other when they're getting up, and I was like, all right, this is what we're doing, I guess. And but
wait, whoa.
I hate being wet.
Pump the brakes. Wait, you don't really jump in them? You jump like you jumping off a truck or some shit or what?
Oh no, so we do like pre-jump, like jump manifest.
Right? Oh, okay, I got you. I
thought go through them like we practice our like PLFs,
kind of like a rock drill type deal.
Exactly, and then we'll rig up, and then we'll jump in for real.
Got it. Okay, I thought y'all faked the funk of jumping in.
Oh no, never. But So that jump got scratched. The next day, did the same exact thing in the same exact puddles of water. And we're all packed. We're packed full of like all the stuff that we need. I think my ruck weighed, it was like 109 pounds.
God damn.
We weren't supposed to jump in with anything that weighed more than 90. So I remember my smoke, he's going around to the sections and he was like, hey, whose shit weighs more than like what it's supposed to? And like my chief was like, Stratton, this guy and that guy. And they're like, okay, cool. So like when we were doing our weigh-ins, he like just like dragged our shit over and we used somebody else's ruck to weigh in. And then we just like gave it back and then went to our spot and manifest.
Wow.
They were like, we're not allowed to jump with anything over 90 pounds. I was like, yes, fuck yes.
What the
fuck? My unit did not let that happen. They're like, no, we're taking all this shit. You have to take all this shit. There's no other way it's going to get out there. Like, it has to go in that way. And then not only that, our first jump our jump, we were in the plains and dudes were heat catting. Bad. So we had 4 heat cats just in my plane, in my not my plane, but like my chalk. And it was C-130s. It was packed tight. Everybody was miserable. It was hot as shit. And you had like all these jump masters climbing across the cargo nets, trying to get the dudes that just dropped. We'd already been like standing up, hooked up, and the doors were about to like lift up.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, we got heat cats. Like, this is crazy. And dudes were just dropping. At first, it was just one dude, whatever. We'll just walk around him. He'll be fine. But then dudes just started dropping like flies.
Wow.
And so we move around, we land, we're dragging all these dudes out onto the tarmac, and then other planes start landing. And then dudes that are dragging dudes into the shed are heat catting. Like, it was a shit show. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Like, Fort Bragg, yeah, dudes heat cat all the time, formations, like, used to it, but like I've never seen anything like this ever. It was absolutely chaos.
Why were they so dehydrated? I mean, what was the dehydration? Too much drinking before or what?
Exactly. Yeah. It was one of the infantry units. Somehow, some way doing secret airborne ops the night before.
Right.
Like, while we're in those tents. Yeah, they just got into it and they're just dropping like flies. It was like all those guys. It was nuts. Like, do not fuck around with your hydration, man.
Wow, dude. That's fucking, of course, that's just the Army. Dude, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than the fucking idiots that drank goddamn that antifreeze out there in Bliss. I mean, those guys are fucking idiots.
Oh, no. And I got a story about that too. I drank antifreeze one night in NTC.
What? Okay. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Gunline. Check this shit out. We got a hip shoot. This motherfucker's about to break down to us. How do you end up drinking antifreeze thinking it's liquor? Please. Or how do you end up drinking antifreeze?
No,
break that down.
First of all, I did not do this on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Right, so disclaimer.
I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like, for whatever reason, it's NTC. Everybody's running around. Everything's chaos. We're up on this sandy ass hill. And our trailer's like sinking in the sand. It's hard for the Humvees to get to wherever the hell we got somehow. And we ran out of water. And like, I just woke up in the middle of the night and was like, I need some fucking water. I am dehydrated as fuck. I'm going to fucking die. So I like walk over to my trailer that's like half sunk into the sand. And we have a water can. We have 2 water cans. The original water can empty, right? Tossed that one to the side. I got my red light on. And the can is marked, but I couldn't fucking see it.
Fucking colorblind.
With an X coolant. I was exhausted, man. NTC, we're like halfway in. And so I pour this shit into my canteen, thirsty motherfucker, took a drink and swallowed it. And then that's when I realized, I was like, man, that was some really funky fucking water. And then I like realized, I was like, I just fucking drank antifreeze. The next 30 minutes I spent in front of my track trying to make myself puke, and I was terrified.
America, this here is who's calling rounds downrange. All right. Oh my God, dude.
It was miserable. And I don't want to tell anybody about it either. I was like, I was like, if I wake up dead, I wake up dead. Like,
Fuck
I don't
it.
say, like, I was like, I'm not telling anybody about this.
That's
so I like
fucking
tried to
funny.
make myself puke. That didn't happen. Couldn't find anything to drink, and I was just so exhausted. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep, man. This sucks.
Fuck it. Hey, if I go, I go. Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna lose sleep over this shit.
That's crazy, yo. Jesus Christ. All right, so now I guess we know how a chief warrant officer and a couple of fucking idiots drank antifreeze. they must have done that at night and didn't read it. Good night, dude. That's fucking crazy. So let's see. So now you're in Colorado, getting ready to go do another NTC rotation, pointless fucking waste of money, which just so people know that that's where we go and do our training. So if anybody's thinking about OPSEC shit, because I can already hear somebody talking shit like, ooh, OPSEC, suck a dick. He's going to fucking NTC, Fort Irwin, California. Oh, fuck that place. I hate it. I think I did 2 rotations there, and I fucking hated NTC, bro. I hated it. NTC and JRTC suck balls. And I forgot it was cold as fuck when I went there. Thankfully, I was already an NCO, so we were able to have a little more liberty at things. Like once the privates were fucking bed down, hey, your weapons guard, we'll be back. Took the fucking van. Ain't much to see out there in old Leesville. I mean, I think there's like 4 strip clubs. Yeah, that's about it, man. And the racism, rampant racism out there. But dude, so tell me about like the field problems. Like, have you guys had any field problems out lately? Like gone out of the field a couple of weeks at a time, or like how long are your field problems?
So yeah, it's different. I mean, so we just went into table 6. Table 6 is table 6. We went out for a fucking day, or a night anyways. And but before, it's like usually we'll do like table 12 or table 11, table 12 practice or like whatever training for it. And so that'll be like a week or 2. And that's just pretty fucking miserable when you don't have a heater, man. Oh my goodness. Our last one that we did, it was like last February. It was February. It was like the end of January, beginning of February. We didn't have a heater, and that track turns into an ice box. I'm sure most of these guys listening know. Oh, yes. They know that shit gets miserable. And I know one night we fell asleep exactly where we were sitting, and I didn't have I've got like the AFA tabs in front of me and like just a stool to sit on. Everybody else is like slumped out, laying on the floor, and like I'm just sitting on a stool, like trying to like sleep there, not freezing up.
So you guys didn't fucking set up the tent in the back?
No, we don't use that sick up shit. Hell no.
Dude.
I refuse to use that shit. No, we'll carry around a trailer, and our new Mike Golf has us setting up nets. So we'll drop the trailer, we'll drop the ramp, we'll set up the net.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to work in the wintertime because I'm not dropping the back. I don't care. Like, that is not going to happen. It's way too fucking cold for that shit, especially without a heater. We got to get our heater fixed for sure.
Dude, we did RTEP during February, March timeframe out there, and it was fucking cold as balls. And we were in Humvees, so we weren't brother, that was one of the worst times of my life because it was just shoot, move, god damn, occupy, march order, occupy, and day or night, snow, frozen. Dude, I'm driving this fucking ammo humper and slipping and sliding all over the fucking place. MVGs weren't working. Jesus fucking Christ. I thought we were going to die. But I tell you, Colorado winters are something different. They're special. They're special. Because, I mean, it snows, but then fucking it's gone and it's all mush. And then it freezes up overnight and it's so fucking cold. I'm just thinking about it is making me cold, bro. Dude, how do you guys kill time?
Spades.
Did you know how to play spades before you joined the military?
No idea. I learned in NTC.
Was it taught by a black person?
It was.
I figured. I figured. Dude, that's one thing about the gun line. You will learn different shit from different people. In spades, you will learn how to play spades and dominoes. You will learn how to do that.
Dominoes too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what kind of like shit y'all do to kill time, to pass time? Like on the FDC side of things, because I was on the gun line, where the guns were. You guys, the FDC, usually your track is somewhere out in the cut, and that's where smoke and the LT go. And well, I don't know what it's like working with an officer. That's got to suck balls, because I mean, you guys have your, you guys have to listen to him. But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of officers. I 100% try to cut those out as much as I can. Like, I'm going to do as much as your work for you, sir, so that you can stay out of mine. Like,
yeah, I mean, because all he's really there for is to verify you as an NCO that you're doing your shit right. He's the one that gives the order to send it, though, right?
No, he just safes it. He's like, all right, this is safe, and then we'll send it. But no, killing time. For the longest time, it was like me and my buddy Hardison, when we were stuck in NTC, we started this. I don't know why. We did riddles every night. I don't know why or how, but like we just started doing riddles because we got sick of cards. We got, just you get miserable as shit. And like you're just laying there like talking to each other at night,
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, riddles pops up, and we just were like, we had a blast with it. So that's just what we did for like the longest time. But other than that, like with my section, honest to God, I try to train them when I can, but like, that gets kind of, everybody gets over that. When you start losing them, you lose them. You're not gonna get anything out of it.
There's only so much 9-line shit you could teach out in the field. There's only so much CLS shit you could teach out in the field. Yeah, you make sure you have the books open in case smoke walks around or fucking the Sergeant Major for some reason pops out, and then you hear snake in the grass. All right, hey, everybody, put your shit back on. Get your books open. You know what I'm saying? Blackjack. Hey, fucking look like you're doing something. Look busy. You know what I mean? But other than that, like I know we used to play the name game a lot. So the name game, I don't know if y'all have this. We would sit in a circle pretty much. Be sitting out behind a gun.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And then you would say like, we're gonna do actors. And I'll say Denzel Washington. All right, so now you got to start with somebody that starts with a W. And it has to be an actor, and be like Will Smith. All right, next person. All right, Sarah, whatever. So it just go like that in circles until you fucking give up. And then we do fucking artists. We do that to kill fucking time. People, there ain't shit to do out in the fucking field. Between fire missions, there's really what we're doing here is what we do. We get to know each other. That's all we can do, because this is the person that you're going to be deploying with. This is the person that, if she is the fan, is going to be who you're going to be relying on. And when you're out there in a shit, whether if it was Afghanistan, and you're on a small ass cop, you guys are going to rely on each other. You're going to know more about him than your wife knows about you. It's just, it's trip, like, especially when you're pulling guard. God damn, I hated that. You get, and then you get to know the liars. Like, I don't know if you have any liars, but the Army's full of them. Fucking like, I used to be a gang member. I was a dope dealer. Motherfucker, you are from bumfuck nowhere. How are you a gangster? Really? Tell me about how hardcore it was in North Dakota at the border of Canada. Shut the fuck up. But dude, yeah, that's how you kill time, bro. You learn about each other, and you make fun of each other. You say how much you want to plow each other's sisters.
That's 100%. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if it's changed now. I would think that it still lives out there. I think there's still some females that are down with that shit. The ones that piss me off are the ones that go in too hardcore, trying to be too masculine or too manly. No, bitch, just be yourself. Be yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
If you don't like what we're talking, cool. You can walk your happy ass away from us, but we're going to keep talking shit, and you're more than welcome to talk shit as long as you can take this shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly.
And
just like any other conversation, man. Like, you don't want to talk about politics? You don't have to be a fucking part of the conversation. You don't have to be here.
Exactly.
Just like anything else. And I've always thought that, but like, it is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How much ink have you gotten since you got in the military?
All of it. So, The first tattoo I got in my unit, I got St. Barbara. I got St. Barbara tattooed on my calf. Oh yeah. And as soon as my smoke saw that, he was like, "You're doing 20." And like for some reason, to me as a private, that just registered push-ups. So I just started doing push-ups. And then he just like fucking like
You're gonna be a lifer.
You're a fucking retard, and then walked away. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then like my special spine hands, he walked up, he was like, dude, get the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, he said, you're doing 20. And I was like, he was like, yeah, 20 fucking years, like genius. And I was like,
my God, dude. You are the true definition of a fucking boot. I love it, dude.
I was a scared soul, you know.
Yeah.
My smoke telling me to do 20.
Dude, and you know what? I respect that. I can fucking respect that. And I love hearing this because you are one of those fucking ones that came through the cracks that actually reminds me that artillery still has a fucking life. Bro, I had my first fucking boot tattoo as well. All right, you got St. Barb. This was my boot tattoo. Well, the first one, it was the cross cannons.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the cross cannons and the King of Battle. Then afterwards, I ended up with the OEF, OIF, American bullshit, you know. And then, of course, I got to have my pin up. Got my pin up with and it says fire mission. You can't really see it well, but
that one's sick. I actually like that.
Yeah, man. So what other bad habits did you pick up since you've been in the military?
Oh, man. So obviously 82nd, we were bad about drinking. We would wake up. It was my barracks room. I don't know why. Everybody come together in my barracks room, take shots, go on a run, come back, get ready, take a shower, come back to my room, take shots, go to the motor pool, hang out, get our shit done, take shots behind the Humvees, or just like hang out and drink. What we used to do is mix whatever tea we could get and honey jack for like the longest time. And I'm so sick of honey jack. I can't do that anymore.
Jesus.
And then one of the guys that we were with like almost drank himself to death. And I remember that night because like I was the one that took him to his room. And I was like, man, that's pretty fucked. I had no idea, like he was that bad. Like he was in that bad a state of mind because he was an 18 X-ray dropout.
Oh,
so he's like, he hated his life, and then things weren't going well for him on the gun line either. So, it was just like, all he had was like alcohol. Nothing was going good for him at home. And like,
damn,
we're drinking with him and then just like took him to his room. He kept drinking. And like, I just felt bad. I felt like I was responsible for that.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, I'm cutting this shit out. Like, this is, I know it's not good. I know it's unhealthy. Like, I actually give a shit about you guys. Like, you guys are you guys are my family. And like, I want to know that like, I'm not, like enabling this type of shit. Like you guys are trying to kill yourselves, like that's, messed up. So I stopped drinking for like a little while. I drink now again, obviously, but like intolerance. I don't do it like how we used to. And then obviously nicotine, everybody, it's one or the other, so stop alcohol, pick up nicotine.
Yep. Dude. It's funny you mentioned alcohol. I mean, FA stands for fucking alcoholics. That's all we do is drink. And it's all good to drink. That's how you make your fucking memories. A lot of them, honestly. And it's part of the culture. I hate to say it, it's part of the fucking culture of the military. We drink, we smoke, tattoos, dip. It's all part of the culture that we have. And I miss that shit every day. I stopped drinking 3 years ago, mainly because I was a shitty drunk. I'll just put it like that. I was a shitty drunk, and but for those that can indulge and have a good time and make memories that you won't remember, handle it, man. Handle that shit. That's fucking awesome. So what's your career path looking like so far? Where do you think it's taking you? Are you thinking about getting out anytime soon? Are you going to be a lifer? What do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
Honest to God, my first smoke had me pinned. Like I really do want to try to do the 20. So I got Chief coming up here soon. After Chief, I'd really like to I want to try to be my golf. Like I want to try to be like master gunner for the Juliets. Like I love doing doctrine type shit.
Yeah. I
love like making tests. I have my own like Table 1 Charlie test made up already, and I showed him. He loved it. He thought it was cool. And then I'd like to get into I think it's .D.C, the guys that like at Fort Sill, like actually write the doctrine and do the testing type shit. I think that's pretty badass. If I get burnt out of it, I'll probably just go recruiter as long as I can.
Yeah. You definitely want to do something fucking, some kind of a TDA, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's recruiter, where it's going on a trail, definitely want to do something like that. But man, enjoy your gun line time, because that's definitely going to be the best time that you're going to have. That's where your memories are going to be made. And dude, I mean, if you keep doing what you're doing now, you should have a very bright career. One of my homeboys, Miller, he was on when we were doing the live. He, me and him, we go back. We were in Fort Stewart together, and he's FDC. And we picked up, we went to the board together. That's a story for another day. Let's just say I got kicked out of the fucking board. And,
shit.
Yeah, that was not cool. And Miller, you know what I'm talking about. When I ran into the fucking pillar. Yeah. That was a fucked up day, man. But yeah, dude, he's a high-speed motherfucker, man. He very high-speed cat. And FDC is hard to promote, especially when you start getting to the senior levels. So to see somebody like him make it to that's awesome. With that, dude, I mean, you got to keep on doing what you do, dot your fucking I's, cross your T's, and it'll be open to you. Do you plan on re-upping to go anywhere else anytime soon? Like if you had a choice of station to go to next, where would it be?
Man, I've thought about it a couple times. But honestly, if I couldn't stay in Carson, I'd probably just go to Sill. It's just like, I kind of feel like that's where artillery really happens.
Yeah.
They do all the testing there. You got the school there. You've kind of got the ins there, and I like that a lot more. Carson, and I noticed this the other day, like 2 days ago. There's like no traditional artillery knowledge at all. Like I don't remember what I was doing, but we were doing something with the ball, and I like kind of realized, like, I was like, oh my God, like none of my soldiers know anything about St. Barbara. They don't know anything about Molly Pitcher. They don't know anything about.
Oh, hell nah.
Oh yeah. So I immediately, as soon as I thought of that, I was like, no fucking way. And I like sent them all these links to these stories for all of them to read, in the Order of St. Barbara, the Ancient Order of St. Barbara, all that shit. And they're like, they thought that was the coolest shit ever. And I was like, yeah, this is like how artillery like really is. Like, you guys need to know this. Like, you can't be artillery and not know this.
You want to blow one of your fucking 13 Bravo's mind away? Just ask them, T-Labs Pap. Just tell me, what is T-Labs Pap? Blow their fucking mind. Their chief will be like, what? If their chief does not know what T-Labs Pap is, he should be fucking fired. Be fucking fired. And I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's not an acronym for you all. It's an acronym for us, which, trails, lay, aiming point or aiming reference, bore site verification, T-Labs, second circle, pre-fire checks, ammo, and then fucking position improvement. It's basically the order of occupation, Yeah. So it's T-Labs Pap. So if a fucking private doesn't know T-Labs Pap, if their chief, that's their chief's fault. And if their chief doesn't know what T-Labs Pap is, get the fuck out. He doesn't belong. I got a shirt, especially made. It says, "Do you even T-Labs Pap, bro?" And only the motherfucking light guys know what T-Labs Pap is, because the mechanized, they were like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Dude, I had an NCO. I bullshit you not, when I was in fucking in Fort Hood. Oh, this guy was special, literally special. We told him that T-Labs Pap was kind of like a tool. So yeah, I know T-Labs Pap. I'll go look for the T-Labs Pap. We had him looking for a T-Labs Pap. He thought it was a tool, bro. He was going E5. He was an E5. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's like giving FTC soldiers like, hey man, we're gonna relay the chart. Will you go ask? So I'll text whoever I send him to. I was be like, hey, go ask Sergeant Bruni for a grid square. We need some extra grid squares to patch these, like on this chart.
Right.
And they'll be like, okay, cool. And they'll take off and they'll go to Sergeant Bruni. And I'll text her and be like, hey man, I'm sending a soldier your way. Just send him to somebody else. And like, just keep it going.
Yep.
And so you'll get a soldier that goes from like, Alpha, like from my battery to Alpha battery to Charlie battery to HHB back to Alpha battery to see somebody else, like, and they'll be gone for like an hour or two, and then I'll hit them up and be like, hey man, you know what, it's all right, like we got it figured out, just go to lunch, and then you can figure it out afterwards.
See, those were the little fucking jokes
that happened to me.
Oh yeah, they got me with the soft spots in the armor. They got me with that one.
Yeah, the armor plate does.
Yeah. I did not know. I was a dumb fucking E1, you know, brand new fucking boot. And my Sergeant Pragine, gives me a hammer and he gives me a fucking chalk. He's like, I need you to go bang, bang, bang on the soft and find the soft spots. When you find a soft spot, you're going to write an X and then circle it. I'm the idiot. I'm the fucking idiot. I did that, but it's okay. I mean, it played itself out. They got a good laugh at me. Fuck y'all. And, you know, but we ended up doing that to this fool little Tink out in Fort Stewart. We had him doing boom tests, so that was fun. We had him doing the boom test. Actually, I think Kerr was part of that one actually too. Where we had him. He was an FDC kid. We're like, yeah, you got to yell boom in there, and you're gonna see a light turn on. So we were at the breach, and we would turn a little flashlight on, and whenever he would do it, boom. Oh, good old boom test, man. Dude, it's been a fucking hell of a time having you on here, bro. I really appreciate you coming. I needed some new blood. With that said, any advice you got for anybody that's in the military, you know, climbing through the ranks or thinking about coming into the military, if there's a civilian listening, what advice would you give these Joes?
Know your doctrine. Doctrine beats rank any day. Because I've given classes before, especially when I first showed up here, I was giving a charts class, right? Mike Golf at the time walks over and he's like, oh, no, this isn't good. This isn't good. Like he was like, I would fail. What did he say? He wouldn't approve of like the chart that I had laid. And I was like, why? And he's like, because your grid numbers are labeled outside. And I was like, nowhere in the .81 does it say that. And I was like, chapter 6.81 right here. Nowhere in the .81 does it say it has to be labeled in here. After that, just quietly like stood to the side and I was like, all right, cool. You know, so know your doctrine. There's no gray area in your doctrine. There's no like, it's just black and white. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. And that's that.
Oh yeah. You plan on going airborne again?
Oh man, I don't know if my body can take any more of that.
I don't know. I heard a lot of people talk very good about Alaska.
I heard Alaska is pretty cool. So, it's an experience. I definitely think that like if you're about it, like you should experience. It's super cool, super high speed. I'm not gonna say super high speed, but it's pretty high speed.
Yeah. And, I recommend you go that route, man. You might like it out that way. But dude, we're gonna have to call it a day because it's already fucking gonna be 7:40 p.m. for me, and I don't know who's allowed and authorized that fucking porn stash you got going on. You know, I'm just saying you look rather fucking sailor-ish. But hey, you know, it's cool, man. It's a new army, you know. You and your boyfriend can go out and
it's been good luck so far. I'm afraid to shave it now.
Hey man, whatever you and your boyfriend are into, that's cool. You know, that's cool. I really appreciate you being here on the gun line, man. Thanks a lot for being here.
An honor. Thank you.
Oh, dude, it's been fun. It's been really fun. And for all y'all out there, if y'all want to come chill on the gun line for a while, just shoot the shit like me and him just did, hit me up on thegunline.com. No, wait. On thegunline@gmail.com is the email. On thegunline.com is where I think I sell shit. If you guys want to go on there, buy some shirts or whatever, take a look at it, whatever. Make sure if you do watch the YouTubes, hit a like, subscribe. I'm not good at that shit. So if y'all like it, cool. If y'all don't like it, cool. It's not for everybody. But if somebody's getting something out of it, I'm enjoying it because I'm getting something out of it. So anyways, with that being said, man, I appreciate you. Rounds complete. End of mission. Gun line out. Bye, motherfuckers.